welcome to the first episode of Jefferson County Alive, a new live broadcast featuring local people, local culture, and pretty much anything else we might find interesting. We are here live in the studio on this glorious, typical Pacific Northwest day. I'm your host, Danny Milholland, a lifelong Jefferson County rapscallion and promoter of the Big Boom and the Boom Shakalaka, and pretty much all things entangled in the realm of community collaboration and creativity. Anyone out there watching live, feel free to say hello or post questions in the chat, and we will do our best to respond to them at the end of the broadcast. Now today, I had the special opportunity to attend the Quilcene Fair and Parade and wanted to share with you some highlights as well as some exciting things going on south of 104. This morning, I met up with Sharon Redmond, the Fair Board President. Let's jump over to myself earlier today. Hey, Danny.
All right, thank you, Danny. It's great to be here with you, Sharon. Can you tell us a little bit about how the fair got started?
Sure. So back in the 30s and 40s, Quilcene area, South County, held the county fair. And my understanding is that then there was kind of when the fair moved up to North County, up into Port Townsend, a few decades later, back in the 60s, the Quilcene community rallied together to create the Quilcene Fair and Parade. And it's kind of gone in and out in different versions since then, and has really been going strong since the 80s. So, and here we are in 2021, and the fair is going great.
That is awesome. And can you tell us what your favorite part of the fair is?
I have to say that my favorite part of the fair is actually the parade. I love that we have such a tight-knit community, and that comes out to celebrate, local organizations, county organizations, regional organizations, and seeing the kids get the candy and all the things that they get to watch and see and do during that parade. That really is part of my favorite. But I have to say that I also like the food vendors, so I love to eat. So that's another one. That would come in second.
Right on. So last year you had to cancel the fair due to the pandemic. And I just want to know, how has it been this year navigating the ongoing pandemic, and what kind of strategies have you been able to implement to kind of handle the situation?
Sure. So we knew early on that we were going to need to do something different. Canceling the fair last year just did not feel good. We held out as long as we possibly could. But when the orders came down through the state for gatherings and needing to be under 20, there's just no way we could do that. So we decided early on that we wanted to go ahead and do something that was hybrid. So in case we had to cancel the fair, that we would still have something that our community could view and come in and us still be together as a community. And that we really wanted to make sure that we followed all of the CDC and state and county guidelines when it came to masking, social distancing, and providing extra hand sanitizer, extra hand washing stations. And so we really then placed everybody out, at least 10 feet apart for their vendors. Normally we're kind of in the front of the school, in the school grounds, and this year we've just moved everything out into the field so that everybody could be spaced apart. We encouraged everyone to wear masks and to make sure that they come to the fair healthy and to keep everyone safe so that we can continue to have the fair and the parade. We also just made sure that things were much smaller. Normally we have about 85 to 100 vendors at the fair, and this year we reduced it and we have 30. So just to make sure that we are within those guidelines and parameters to keep everyone safe.
That is awesome. I'm really glad that you guys were able to make this happen. And just want to see if there's anything at the fair this year that you're particularly excited about that you want to highlight.
Well, I'd love to highlight this right here and thank the Production Alliance for helping us make this happen, the hybrid virtual piece. So I can't wait for everyone to chime in and see all the great things that you're going to be the highlights of our fair and parade. And I'm really excited to go check out those car show guys. They really, it's at the end of the season, and sometimes it's hard to get them out, but they've really kind of rallied, and I'm excited to go and check them out. And this sun, it's unbelievable. It was blowing, the wind was blowing so hard last night, we couldn't set anything up, and woke up this morning to this. It's pretty amazing. I'm glad I called ahead. Ordered up the sun.
Nice, that is awesome. Thanks so much. It's been lovely chatting with you, Sharon. Yeah. And as you can see, Danny, rain or shine, pandemic or no pandemic, the Quilcene Fair Parade is celebrating in the historic downtown Quilcene here at the Quilcene School District. Back to you, Danny.
Thanks, Danny, from this morning. It's always great to see that Pacific Northwest spirit shining on here in Jefferson County. And oh hey, by the way, I just got a little message to pass on to you, Danny. Go grab some food before you head back to the studio, because you're actually super low blood sugar now.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Danny. I'm definitely going to hit up one of these awesome food vendors.
Yeah, I don't think you actually ate anything, because I'm still pretty hungry here, buddy. Anyway, Quilcene is home to some staggeringly talented artists and entrepreneurs. Earlier this week, we had the opportunity to visit some South County creators who are doing amazing work in the community. And actually, Sharon, would you like to introduce this next segment? Okay, well, you know what? We had a we are actually live, and this is our first ever broadcast, so we're in the process of just working with the moment. This next segment, Kyoto and I had the chance to go down to the McKay's crab and shrimp pot making business down in Brennan, and they had an amazing setup. And if you're ready, Kyoto, to play the segment from the McKay's shrimp and crab pot making family, take it away.
Off with John McKay building crab pots out of his garage, and then started selling them to the public because they wanted to go out shrimping, and then it just progressed from there. And just a block away over there, the brown building was the second building. The building next to it, the red building with the white garage doors, where John McKay actually started building crab pots for a living. Our goal at McKay's is to keep people employed in the small town of Brennan here, and also in Quilcene, to provide income for people here. And we've been doing this since 2005, and our goal is to not waste any materials and do what we can. Sorry, we've also raised 4 children in this place too, so it's part of why we do it is for family and the community. And then we try to keep everything U.S. made, and our employees are more of artists than they are employees, because it takes a lot to manipulate and to manipulate the wire to what form we'd like to have it in. And we get it in rolls, and we take it down from there. We cut them into smaller pieces, and then transform them into fishing gear, which are highly popular around this area. We don't advertise much, because if we did, we'd have probably too much work for us in this small town.
Everything we make here is handmade.
Yeah, 3,000 to 4,000 a year is our usually amount of pots that we get, and then somewhere around 1,100 to 1,500 shrimp pots a year that we make. And it's a full-time job, and usually in the wintertime we usually have to take a time out, but lately we haven't been able to, just to keep up on our end of deals. So.
Man, I gotta try and get one of those crab pots before next season. Go catch me some dungeons out in the bay. I'll see you out there. And we do have another Quilcene Skills segment coming up, but first we're gonna jump back over to Danny at the fair to interview Bill Stevens, the car show organizer. Hey, Danny, what's the word down there?
All right, thanks, Danny. I'm here with Bill Stevens, the coordinator of the car show. Bill, can you tell us a little bit about the history of the car show?
Be glad to. So the car club, the South County Classic Cruisers, which is based here in Quilcene, Washington, the original owner, Travis Hitt, got together with the Quilcene Fair Board, and they all thought it would be a great idea to put the car show in with the fair. And at the beginning, we had a Burnout Expo, which went really well. The crowd loved it. Hopefully that'll come back next year. And it's been a success ever since.
Nice, that's awesome. I love it when collaborations happen in celebration, and it sounds like a perfect match. Bill, can you tell us what cars you have your eyes on today? Is there any particular car that stands out to you?
Yes, I'm very fond of the 1978 Cougar Mercury. It's on the end of the lot there. It's a black one. Vote for that, best in show. And it is my boss's car.
Right on. Thanks, Bill, so much. And now Back to the Future featuring Danny Milholland.
Thank you, Danny. All right, so next up, we're going to take a little trip out to the pasture and see what it takes to go from sheep to shawl, starring Lisa Solvang and Jan Galanders.
Hi, my name is Jan Galanders, and I own a small flock of Jacob sheep, and right here in Quilcene, about a mile north. And it all started about 30 years ago when my late husband, who was a farrier, brought home an orphan lamb. And it was a little ram lamb, and he cried all night long. So I went back and bought a friend for him, a ewe, and that started the whole mess off. And so I've been breeding and raising and tending for over 30 years now. I sell just about everything but the sheep, raw fleeces, spun yarn, fiber for people to spin who don't have their own sheep, knit goods. And what it's turned into over the years is not just a job, it's turned into a passion. And it's turned into something that, I don't know, I wouldn't want to even be without. It's very grounding, it's kind of zen. And in all the turmoil of this last year or year and a half, it's really been great to be able to walk out there and just calm down. And I started selling my things up at the Port Townsend Market about 18 years ago was my first year, and went on to do the farm tour. This is my 18th year of farm tour as well. And then I also have been at the Chimicum Farmers Market on Sundays up until about 2 years ago. So I've got my name out doing that, and I now have enough traffic that's just by word of mouth that it's really good, and I really enjoy doing what I'm doing. And I met Lisa at Fiber and Clay about 2.5 years ago, and we just struck it up. We hit it off really well, and we started talking about fiber and spinning and all that, and it fit right in. So she offered to have my yarn in the shop and allow me to do pop-ups here, every once in a while. And through that, it just has grown into just a great relationship. And I don't have to go anywhere but 2 miles down the road to go to work, if you could call it work. And years ago, I had always wanted to have a yarn shop. Well, now I kind of get it by osmosis, so I get the best of both worlds.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Solvang, and this is Fiber and Clay, which I have together with my husband, Scott Olson. And our, being a potter and fiber artist, we have loved doing things together. So we found out that fiber and clay, together we play. That's our slogan, and that's what this store is all about. Just fun and family and community and creativity. So I wanted to show you a little bit of our local artisans that we work with. I know that you guys have met Jan, who has Jacob's sheep. And so we have her yarn and goods here. Here's a shawl from one of her sheep. For some reason I think it's Betty, but I'm not quite sure. Betty the sheep. And then we have a wonderful woman, Kathy Lunsford, who is a local woodworker. And she makes these great tools for winding yarn. This is an old Norwegian tool, actually. I'm from Norway, so that's pretty fun for me to have that. And tools to measure yarn after it's spun. And then she makes these great darning eggs, which is a really good mending tool, because we need to learn how to mend our lives, mend our socks. And then these are little shawl pins for Jan's wonderful sheep shawls from, we are learning about how to get from sheep to shawls. So we have a really lovely lady here. Her name is Shirley McMahon, and she crochets these wonderful animals, octopus, cats, birds, and these jellyfish. And they have been so popular. And Shirley also volunteers at Center Valley Animal Rescue, which is, I think, everybody's favorite nonprofit here in Jefferson County. And so all of the proceeds here go directly to Center Valley. So we are a community of really great knitters and charity knitters, and we have been knitting for charity the last this will be our third year together. First year we knit hats for our first responders, the sheriffs, the EMTs, all the office personnel, firefighters. So that was really fun. It's really fun to see them out on the streets with our hats on. And then last year we did for Jefferson County PUD and Mason County PUD, because they're first responders as well, and they amazing people who can keep us safe and warm. So it was really fun being able to do that for them. And then this year we're filling 2 Christmas trees with hats for the food bank here in Quilcene and in Brennan. And one of our ladies that's here today, everybody participates, but there's one in particular, her name is Nancy, and she's here today. And she has single-handedly, I think, filled a Christmas tree already with hats.
Man, there's so much insane talent and philanthropy happening out there. It makes me incredibly proud to see our community staying strong and connected through these crazy, unprecedented times that we are living in. And on a side note, I need to get one of those sweet hats, because winter is definitely coming. You should all go check out Fiber and Clay down in Quilcene. Okay, I think we have time to respond to a few questions that have come up via chat and email. Are there any others than these ones that came through? All right, we have a question from Joey Barker. Aren't you cold right now? It's a little chilly out, but I'm a Northwest boy, so I'm doing good. I like the cold. I'm excited for winter. And we have a question from Leila on who won the car show, and I recommend checking the website and the social media, the Facebook page for the fair, to get an official confirmation. But I'm pretty sure it was that sweet. I think it was Bill's boss. Definitely had my vote. That was a sweet rig. All right, we have a question from Ralph Snapper. Pop quiz. How many decades has the fair been happening? Well, we all heard Sharon's testimony earlier in the segment. I think it was, she said, 1930s or 40s that the official Jefferson County Fair took place in Quilcene, and then it picked back up in the 60s as the Quilcene Fair Parade. So you could say it's rooted back 9 decades or 7 decades. Yeah, 9 decades, I think. And then last question, where do we find out where the raffle winners are? I, again, would try checking the Facebook page, the website in the next couple days, maybe sooner. And all right, I think that's about it, unless there's any final questions coming in. Anything? All right, looks like nope. All right, so I'm actually getting word that Sharon Redmond has something to add.
Hey Danny, one more thing. The Quilcene Fair and Parade Association would like to thank all of our generous sponsors. Would you please list them off for us over there in the studio?
Absolutely no problem, Sharon. We'd like to give a big thank you to the Jamestown Sklallam Tribe, Seven Cedars Casino, Homer Smith Insurance, McKay Shrimp and Crab Gear, Morger Construction, Count Me In for Quilcene, Children Family Forest Wood Products, Olympic Peninsula Physical Therapy, Tom McCallaghan, Tailored Fibers, Chimicum Corner Farm Stand, Windermere Realty, Peninsula Foods, Good Man Sanitation, Andrea's Beauty and Barber, and Hadlock Realty. Okay, I'm going to take... Wait. No, we got that. All right, and that's all, folks. I think that kind of wraps it up. I'd like to just thank you all for tuning in to our inaugural broadcast of Jefferson County Alive in all its raw and uncut intensity. We hope you'll come back and join us again. This broadcast is made possible by our umbrella organization, the Production Alliance. You can learn more about the Production Alliance by visiting theproductionalliance.org. And we will try to keep these broadcasts coming out on a regular, semi-regular basis. So as all the content creators say, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, and we will see you on the flippity flop. Boom shakalaka.